Why is it that when people hear a man has a high body count, he's often praised, envied, or even admired, but when a woman has the same count, the labels come flying in: slut, easy, damaged goods? Is it just a double standard rooted in outdated thinking and sexism? Or is there something deeper, something embedded in how we instinctively process sex, status, and power? This video isn't about judgment. It's about pulling back the curtain on a reality most people sense, but can't quite explain. Let's talk about it. In today's postmodern world, especially in the West, there's been a major push for gender equality across the board. And when it comes to careers, education, voting rights, and the like, that absolutely makes sense. But when it comes to sex and reputation, many people still sense that something isn't equal. Why does society continue to judge men and women differently for the same sexual behavior? The answer may lie in something subtle, but powerful: the social contract. In Western society, this unspoken agreement shapes our ideas of what's considered proper, what's taboo, and what kinds of behavior come with reward or shame. And when it comes to sex, that contract has some very specific rules. Men are expected to earn sex, and women are seen as the ones who control access to it. This dynamic, whether we like it or not, is the foundation of how reputations form around body count for both men and women. Think of the sexual landscape like an economy, and sex is the currency. Men are expected to work for it, grind for it, be clever, attractive, charming, rich, whatever it takes. They're the buyers. Women are the gatekeepers, the ones who own and control the supply. And in any economy, what's hard to get becomes valuable. So when a man is sleeping with a bunch of beautiful women, especially ones who have options, it sends a signal: this guy must be high value. On the flip side, when a woman sleeps with a bunch of men, society doesn't ask, how was she able to pull that off? Instead, it asks, why would she give it away so easily? It's not about morality, it's about perceived scarcity and effort. We're not saying it's fair, we're saying this is how the cultural math plays out in people's heads. And whether you're male or female, you've probably seen it happen in real time. Let's do a quick thought experiment. Imagine a focus group of men and women. The group moderator says,
I have a male friend who sleeps with a different gorgeous woman every night, 9s and 10s across the board. None of them are escorts or sugar babies, just regular women who can't wait to be with him. Picture that guy.
Immediately, many in the room start thinking, he must be rich, famous, confident, powerful, extremely attractive. Why? Because we all instinctively understand, thanks to our social contract, that men need to possess some form of desired value to earn sex. So if a man is consistently sleeping with beautiful women, society tends to view him as exceptional. Some might even call him a stud, a chad, or a player. Now, maybe you're thinking,
But not all guys who sleep around are respected. Some are cheaters, liars, or just plain toxic.
and that's absolutely true. But what people tend to admire isn't the man's morality, it's the results he gets. Even if he's a jerk, people subconsciously think,
He must have something going for him to pull that off.
and let's be honest, we all know at least one or two women who've chosen to date a so-called bad boy over the moral, respectable, nice guy. It's kind of like a ruthless CEO. You might hate how he does business, but you can't ignore the billion-dollar company he built. Sexual reputations for men work the same way. It's not about character, it's about what their sexual success implies about their value. Now let's flip our thought experiment. Same focus group, but this time the moderator says,
I have a female friend who sleeps with a different man every night.
immediately, the vibe in the room shifts. People start thinking, does she have any standards? Is she trying to prove something? Is she being forced to do that? Was she abused, or is she suffering from some kind of emotional trauma? Instead of admiration, there's suspicion, concern, or even pity. Why? Because women, under the framework of our social contract, are expected to be selective. They're seen as the ones who control the supply in the sexual marketplace. So when a woman gives sex away too easily, she's often viewed as reckless, insecure, or even broken. Her body count isn't seen as an accomplishment, it's seen as a giveaway. Again, this isn't necessarily true, but it is how behavior tends to get interpreted, often unconsciously. So, here's the big question. Isn't this all just a double standard? Why should one gender be praised for something the other gets shamed for? It seems unfair, but it helps to remember, it's not just about the behavior itself, it's about the perceived context behind that behavior. If a man achieves a high body count, it's often assumed he possesses exceptional attributes, either natural or earned, that convinced women to be with him. On the other hand, if a woman achieves the same thing, the assumption is that she simply allowed it, which feels less impressive in a society that still values results backed by effort. That's why men and women's sexual reputations form differently. Now, you might be asking, shouldn't we just rewrite the rules, scrap the judgment entirely, treat men and women the same no matter what? In theory, yes. But here's the catch. Changing the rules comes at a cost, and that cost might be something many women aren't willing to pay. Because that same social contract doesn't just bring judgment, it also brings power and protection. Society assumes that women control access to sex, and because of that, women are often given the benefit of the doubt in cases of sexual assault or harassment. The legal system operates on the belief that women don't give men access to sex freely, that they're selective and intentional in their sexual decisions. But if we erase that idea, if we redefine the rules entirely, we also risk erasing the protections and assumptions that come with it. So the real question becomes, are women in Western society ready to give all that up just to level the reputation playing field? For most, the answer is probably no. Still not convinced there's a justified imbalance in the sexual marketplace? Here's one way to make it crystal clear. Probably 99% of women, regardless of age, body type, income, attractiveness, or background, could wake up one morning and say,
I'm feeling really horny. You know what? I'll get a quickie in before lunch today.
And chances are, it would happen. Most women could have a willing partner at their door faster than it takes to deliver a pizza. Now, it might not be their dream guy, but chances are she already has someone in mind who would show up, ready and willing. Now flip that. How many men can make that same claim? Very, very few. Maybe the top 5%. And that is the root of all of this. One gender guards the gate. The other has to prove himself to get in. So no, men and women are not judged the same when it comes to sexual reputation. And pretending they should be doesn't change how the world works. It just creates confusion. The social contract, for better or worse, shapes our instincts, our laws, and our culture. And unless we're prepared to rewrite all of that, including the parts that benefit women, it's not going anywhere. This isn't about blaming anyone. It's about understanding the bigger picture. If you found this eye-opening, hit that like button, subscribe, and drop your thoughts in the comments. Agree? Disagree? Let's talk about it.